All my life I've been appalled by the human suffering and misery that prevails on our beautiful planet. Suffering that seems to continue as if there were no solutions to the plight of humanity. And yet, in all our hearts, we all know that there are solutions, and that they are really simple. But somehow, our so-called leaders are not providing the solutions, but instead creating more confusion and misery. We've appointed our leaders to be our servants, but they're not serving us. We appointed them to do the best for us, not for them. So whatever we want and we need as a people, they should be doing for us. Is that happening? No, the opposite is happening. And so millions of people are waking up to the silent war against humanity and are standing united for change all over the world. People of courage, vision and enlightenment who know there is a better way ahead for humanity. We are all born on this beautiful planet, and we're all born free. And yet, we cannot move around freely. We cannot live where we choose to. We have to follow rules and laws that we didn't agree to when we were born. We have to work to pay taxes and to earn this thing called money. We didn't agree to that either when we were born. We didn't agree to be given a number and be treated like a corporation. We are living, breathing human beings. We're not numbers of infinite soul and flesh and blood. And yet that's not how we're being treated. The restrictions on humanity are endless, and they're getting worse by the day. It became very clear to me that humanity has become a deeply divided species, divided on every possible level we can imagine. Divided by country, by flag, by religion, education, where we live, what job we have, what car we drive, what clothes we wear, the brands we buy. The division is endless and far more severe than most of us could possibly realize. It becomes obvious to me that this human division is in direct conflict with the laws of nature and the resonance of unity consciousness that seems to be the foundation for all of creation. Our division is also the main reason why so many of us live in perpetual fear. We fear everything: fear of death, fear of our neighbors, fear of the unknown, fear of cancer, fear of disease, fear of authority, and fear of losing our jobs. We seem to fear everything in our lives that should be joyful. All of our natural resources are being mined and traded by multinational corporations that have more rights than human beings. We have simply become the slaves for the corporations. Our country and our planet is being raped and destroyed in the name of money, greed, and political control. These bankers are the masterminds behind the global economic system that rules the world without ever being questioned or challenged. A system that is designed to control and destroy everything that opposes it to ensure its own survival. But now that we know this, we can do the right thing and inform everyone about this injustice and do something about it.
First of all, the banks make money out of thin air. When I say this, when you go to a bank and you apply for a loan, they don't have vaults of money that they take physical cash and give you a loan. They sit on a computer and they punch in a bunch of numbers on a computer and miraculously, magically just create money out of thin air. It's not backed by anything. It seems to us that at this stage there are about between 30 and 33 laws, acts and bills that are broken on a daily basis by the banks, including the Reserve Bank, and this is all under the watchful eye of the Minister of Finance. So the Minister is aware of what's going on and he's done nothing to prevent this from happening. It's pure exploitation of every South African citizen.
Money is not part of natural evolution. This is a complete misunderstanding of human history. Anyone that teaches you that has not done their homework. Money was maliciously introduced in ancient times as a tool of enslavement, the absolute tool of enslavement, and we are feeling the worst brunt of it right now. We are the guys, we are the civilization, we are the people in the history of this planet right now that can make a change. It's up to us what we do with this information and how we move from here forward. But those who try to control us will constantly tell us that it is very complicated and that only money can solve our problems. We all know that this is a lie, because money does nothing. People do. People grow the food, they plant the seeds, they build the bridges and solve the mathematical equations, and people create the most beautiful works of art. People do everything in great spirit and joy when they are allowed to do so. Money is simply the obstacle that keeps us all from creating and thriving. I would like to share with you the joy and simplicity and the beauty of Ubuntu, where people do not live divided in fear of each other, but rather live united and thrive in abundance on all levels of our society, for all of humanity. Let us actively begin to spread the message of unity consciousness to all of humanity that will allow us to heal our division and change the misery of our human beings to abundance within a global community filled with love for each other and not fear of each other. As you work through this process of a moneyless society, a Ubuntu society where everybody contributes their natural talents or acquired skills to the greatest benefit of all, with certain minor rules that are not rules, it's really just an agreement that this is how we're going to work together. The moment you start working in that kind of community, the abundance is so spectacular that we, right now, cannot imagine it. It is not possible for us to imagine it until you start immersing yourself in this kind of thinking. Realize it's a movement about higher consciousness. It's about breaking all the norms that we've been conditioned to believe, standing up to authority, and taking back what belongs to us, living, breathing human beings. The Ubuntu contribution system, I called it contributionism in 2005 when I first started writing about it. Completely new social structure, abundance for all. It's based on ancient knowledge when they didn't have money, where everyone contributes their natural talents or acquired skills for the greatest benefit of all in the community. It goes back to the African roots called Ubuntu. All ancient cultures, in a way, share this African system called Ubuntu. They have different names for it, but it always comes down to the same thing. It's amazing that the ancient cultures survived for thousands of years not using money, and they thrived, as Foster Gamble would say. And they had a similar philosophy. If it's not good for everyone, it's no good at all. And that is a beautiful philosophy that I'd like to share with everybody, because I don't want to do anybody harm, and I don't want to do anything that's going to harm anyone because it does me good. I'm not interested in doing that. And this is why the whole Ubuntu contributionism system, the Ubuntu movement, is a movement of higher consciousness. It is for people moving into a new age, a new era of higher consciousness. Exactly that.
The Ubuntu Liberation Movement and the Ubuntu Party is there to represent the conscious people that live in South Africa, that understand that humanity is totally and utterly controlled by money and by the banking families and control the planet that we live on. We need to spread this message and this information and plant the seed of consciousness in as many people as we can. We don't know what the outcome will be of the elections, but what we do know is that our presence and participation in the elections is paramount for us to be able to spread this information, because parties that do not participate in the elections will not get the kind of exposure. We did not go into politics to enter or start a political party to go into politics, but purely as a political platform for the philosophy of Ubuntu and contributionism. This is critical for everyone to understand. We have no intention to get into politics, but the political platform is a very credible platform for us to be seen in the mainstream media, in which otherwise we would be completely ignored. So I hope this all makes sense to you. Share this with as many people as you can. And we hope to see you on the ballot in South Africa in 2014 on the 7th of May.